Welcome back to Oracle for Startups. I'm Whitney Dermick, and today I am joined by the co-founder and CEO of Atlas, Maha Harper. Maha, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
So let's start with the basics. Tell me about Atlas. What do you guys do?
So we are a tech company that is essentially focused on the digitization of the construction sector. So I guess you can say our main value proposition is we seek to reduce project inefficiencies on construction projects through intelligent automation. So looking to sort of increase project certainty on both time and cost.
Great. And who is it for? Who are your primary customers?
So this is for developers, project owners, contractors who understand, as well as we do, that the construction industry really needs to adopt more digitized models in order to increase efficiencies and sort of the same sort of efficiencies that the manufacturing sector has achieved over the last decade. So, the built environment in general is responsible for almost, I think that it's a crazy figure, like 40% of global CO2 emissions. And then the construction projects in general produce almost a third of all global waste. And then when you add into that the fact that at least 75% of construction projects are at least 40% late, you can start to understand that the world is not really going to successfully achieve that net zero goal without the digitization of the construction sector.
That's fascinating. So what's the biggest obstacle to providing this digitization in that industry?
For a lot of reasons, and there have been so much talk going on about why is it that the construction sector is sort of one of the dinosaurs when it comes to digitization, and why haven't we adopted digitized models more quickly? And it has to do a lot with sort of legacy processes that the construction industry is sort of loath to let go of. It has to do with the adoption of technology and software, and that adoption hasn't been as high as it has been in other industries. But when you look at sort of all the great strides that have been made over the last decade, and there have been really good progress in the sector in terms of digitization over the last decade. But despite that, we're still seeing inefficient project management, and we're still seeing millions in owner expense overrun. And we think that's mainly due to the fact that we haven't yet figured out the best way to achieve the best, I guess, connectivity between everyone on a construction project. So, and we're not just talking about connecting everyone's teams together, but actually connecting everyone's data and everyone's information together in a way that's sort of seamless and dynamic and unified. And so basically we need one playbook that everyone is playing from. And I think sort of achieving that connectivity, and the best way to do that is something that everyone is still grappling with.
Mm-hmm. That's a great segue to talk about technology. But first, I want to ask an aspirational question. If Atlas were to achieve the best case scenario, become a $1 trillion company with implementation across the globe, how would the world look different?
I think one of the main things that would be achieved is that we would go a long way in achieving those net zero goals that everyone is after, come 2030, because the construction sector is responsible for so much waste and for so many of those CO2 emissions. I think sort of one of the ways that we can do that, achieve that goal, both on the efficiency side when it comes to the construction sector, but also on the sustainability side, is by deploying these new, I guess, smart technologies that are being developed, which, if they are adopted, really will transform the way engineering and construction processes work. So the way companies design and schedule and deliver construction projects will be changed forever by adopting these intelligent digital technologies that improve, again, not only the quality and efficiency of construction projects, but also the sustainability of projects throughout the entire project life cycle.
So it's clear that there's a big vision behind Atlas and a vision for social good and sustainability. I'm wondering, how do those philanthropic intentions show up and fuel your day-to-day operations?
it's sort of easy to marry up both of them because you do have sort of, one of the hashtags that we use a lot is tech for good and sort of, increasing not only sustainability, but, when you do our solution works for every sector in the built environment, whether it's healthcare or commercial or residential, but our go-to-market is really healthcare for a lot of reasons. That's where sort of our industry experience is in healthcare construction. The fact that there's a real need to build and scale healthcare infrastructure around the world with 50% of the world's population. The latest figure from the WHO is that 50% of the world's population don't have access to adequate healthcare services. There's a real backlog for healthcare facilities around the world. And so, yeah, I was talking about marrying those two things up. So that's sort of the big vision. And then when you look at sort of the efficiencies our software can provide, and each of those functionalities provide certain efficiencies on a construction project. And when we did our analysis of what kind of efficiencies they do provide to customers, we've been able to demonstrate, and this is all backed up by market data and by looking at, over 400 different construction projects that have gone into our study, that we can achieve up to 10% overall project savings for the customer on each construction project. And so, it's really hard to argue with that. You've got sort of the social good behind what we're doing, but also the sort of fiscal and monetary value that you bring to the customer by helping them achieve those that return on investment.
Yep, you've got the data to back up your vision, which is fantastic. So Atlas is an alumni of Oracle for Startups. I'm curious how you worked with Oracle technology and with our program to scale or go global. What did that look like?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked closely with so many different parts of the Oracle ecosystem. And so, when we talked to our customers, project owners who use Oracle's, for example, Primavera or Unifier software, we were keen from the start to ensure that our software integration integrates seamlessly with those solutions, with Oracle's software stack, because so many construction projects do use the Oracle construction management software stack. And so Oracle has been really helpful in so many different ways, like providing technical support during our own software development, as we've been working with some of Oracle's experts on Unifier and Primavera who've helped us through this sort of really complex task of integration that needs to take place in order for our software to work.
And what advice do you have for other startups who might be considering partnering with Oracle or another enterprise?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can do it, if you can find the right synergy with someone like Oracle or another enterprise, where it brings not only sort of the technical expertise that you might need in order to help you build and scale, but also sort of the business synergies that sort of align. If you can find that, then that's a great partnership and something that you really should try and foster and build, because it will only help you along, your journey of building and scaling your own solution.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like Atlas has incredible momentum. Have there been any highlights recently?
As we were just talking about this, and as the year is coming to a close now, we were just thinking about how grateful we've been for a really incredible year. And it's been really sort of humbling to be part of this, incredible ecosystem with Oracle and other founders and other construction technology startups. And so it's been a pretty great year for us. And we've just found out that we've been named as one of CEMEX Ventures top 50 construction technology companies globally. And this was sort of a global competition, and there were startups that were selected by judges from 7 different, industry leaders across 8 different countries around the world. So that's been a really sort of happy ending to our year.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So if people want to learn more about Atlas, what's next, what you guys have going on, where should they go?
Yeah, I mean, you can contact us. You can go onto our website. We are smack in the middle of sort of the last sprint in the development of our first modular component for our platform, and that's due to be completed by the end of the first quarter next year. And so getting to beta testing, and then we've got our first project lined up in Angola that's starting in June 2022. So yeah, we are always looking to make connections in the industry, whether they're other founders, other startups, other partners. And so we're always happy to talk to everybody, really.
I will make sure to share those links in the video description. Maha, thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you. This has been really great.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Oracle for Startups. Definitely make sure that you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.